Hello, this is
Ah,
Fred from
ecco,
Metalops,
ok.
friends from metalops.com and the YouTube channel. And I am with Hesperia, and one member is going to introduce himself. Who are you? What's your function? Could you tell me more about the band, the creation of the band Hesperia since many years?
Have and good evening. Hesperia is a one-man band. The only member is Hesperus, I, and was created in the 1997.
Yeah,
So many times, a lot of time, many times ago,
yeah,
and is a concept one-man band about the Italic culture.
yeah.
Indeed, the moniker, the name Hesperia is in an ancient name of Italy.
Okay.
Eh, it means the land of the evening of the darkness because the Greeks look at their west and
Eh?
see that lands on the western side
Okay.
when the sun go down,
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
and then there is the land of darkness, and for the Greeks, Italy
Okay.
is
We
that
can't
land.
we can't see a lot of you, but I know you have a mask, etc. But yeah, in the side of the camera, but don't move too
Ah,
because
yes.
we can't see you. Okay, thank
Okay.
you for this explanation. So yeah, you come from north of Italy, no, center east in the Adriatic side, and all that. It's your roots inspire you a lot in your music in Hesperia,
Okay.
if I'm right.
My origin is in the region of Marche, in the center east of Italy,
Okay.
near to the side near the sea, the Adriatic Sea, and
Yeah.
in
Okay.
this region inside the part in the inside part of the this region there is this chain of mountains, this chain of mounts, the Sibylline Mounts, that they are mountains with a lot of legends and history and legend are linked together, and the real things confounding to the legends and history uh,
The folklore,
is
the
fade with legends and so on. Folklore,
local.
the many folklore influenced me to create these songs, songs
Okay.
of the new album.
Yeah, yeah, we are here to speak about the new album. So it's your eighth, if I'm right, your eighth studio album, and it's called Fra. Excuse me for my bad accent in Italian. I speak Latin. I studied Latin, but I don't
Fra li
speak
monti,
Italian. Yeah, Fra
fra li
Limonti,
monti Sibillini,
and Sibili. That's the name of the months, the real months.
the name of
In Italy, in La
that.
Marche, in near Adriatic side, very
Yes,
nice
of
landscape.
course. Yes, of course. And so that mounts inspired me since when I was a child, during my childhood, and those mounts are a piece of my heart,
Okay.
and a piece of my heart and a piece of my art. So
Okay.
the
Uh,
art I created because they are in my heart.
uh,
Ecco.
and the album is called so it's released it is gonna released in January 2025 in Amaranth Records. It's called Frali Monti Sibili, but there is a subtitle in English called Black Metal Winter, if I'm right,
Over.
Winter over the
Black
Sibili.
medieval winter over the Sibylline Mounts.
Exactly.
Yes, of
There are
course.
40, there are 14 tracks. How could you define your art, musical art? It's atmospherical black metal, epic black metal. Can we make a connection? Is there a connection with bands like dark bands like Summoning in Austria, Mortis,
Ah,
stuff like that?
ah.
It's
And yes, I used to call my genre Italic metal or Italic black metal,
okay.
but the truth is that I use every influence or influences of the genre to create these atmospheres, to give and
Okay.
to take the listeners to the period, to
Okay.
the age of the narration, and so on. I think that summoning is more involved with the fantasy
Yeah.
histories, Lord of the Rings, and so on.
Okay.
While Hesperia is more involved and concerned with history,
Yeah.
real history and legends and literature and culture of
Yeah.
Italy.
Oh, you're great.
This is the great difference in the lyrics.
Okay.
In the music, you may find some similarities, some atmosphere
Yeah.
near to medieval, but only with this album because the
Yeah.
previous album
Yeah.
are a bit different, involved with the history of Rome and
Yeah.
pre-Roman age. I made a tetralogy about Aeneid to tell about the pre-Roman people,
Yeah.
and then a biology, two albums about Rome,
Yeah.
Rome
Yeah.
Volume 1, Rome Volume 2,
Yeah.
talking about the history of Caesar and the
Caesar
history
and Roma and the
of
city of
Rome.
Roma.
Caesar, Kaiser in ancient Latin, the name.
Okay.
And so maybe I think that on this album there are some tribute inside this album, some tribute to the black metal of the 90s, the early black metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So about
Okay.
something about medieval black metal, or the first album of Satyricon, for example,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
influenced me
Dark medieval
a lot,
times.
dark medieval times. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
summoning. I think that summoning are between my influences, but only their first albums,
Ah.
Lugburz and Minas Morgul.
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, very interesting. So, yeah, in your discography, you follow a story, an history. You start from the antiquity, and now we are in the Middle Age with a new one. So that's your concept. It's a concept band. It's a one-man band, but and you make all in the music. You make the music. You sing.
Yes, of
Uh,
course.
how do you work? How do you work? And do you follow the tech? Have you followed the technology, the evolution of the technologies since the 90s when you start the band in 1997? Could you tell me more about the technologies? How do you try? How do you work with a computer, with machines, with a keyboard?
Okay, I started in a very raw way
Yeah.
with a four tracks recorder, analogic recorder, with
Okay.
only a bass guitar to play everything in an Eidos Part 1, an Eidos
Okay.
Metal Apotheosis Part 1.
Yeah.
So every note was were recorded with four tracks analogic recorder and with playing a bass guitar.
Okay. Okay.
The bass guitar was connected to using a multi-effect
Okay.
pedal with many sounds. So the bass guitar replaced the guitars, the electric guitars, the keyboards, and so on,
Okay.
with many ambient effects from old movies. Peplum movies, historical movies, and so on. But now, going on with my music,
Yeah.
I use every kind of technology to create my idea of music, and so on. I can't exclude nothing now and for the future. Every tool is important, from the
Yeah.
ambient sounds to the computer
Yeah,
and effects and so on. And many instruments to create the music, not
yeah,
only bass guitar now, electric guitars, acoustic guitars,
yeah,
and obviously my vocals in
yeah. You make
many
all the
ways,
vocals. You make all the
and
vocals.
not only the usual metal and rock instruments, but also folklore instruments
Yeah.
and this time medieval instruments.
Okay. Okay, we can. It's a story of it. In fact, there are 14 songs, 14 tracks, and with intermezzo and ambience, atmospheres, narration, sounds of nature, and with the keyboard, you put the atmosphere. But the tools, the computer, all that, all the instruments are that for the music and not the contrary. The contrary, you write, you compose, and you use these tools to make this music and to create like a journey, a musical journey for the listeners. In fact,
Yes, yes, to create
is the goal.
a journey to take the listener to the time of the narration and
Yeah,
to create something like a journey, at
yeah.
this time a journey in the Middle Age on the Sibylline Mounts.
And
And
there are some. There is a one track for the moment, and will be and now and very soon a second track from this album. So the first one is the song from this new album, fra Monti Sibillini. The first track, if I'm right, the video. Could you tell me more? The video,
La
the
Grotta della
video,
Sibilla.
La Grotta della Sibilla, and there will be a new one, a new video shot in
Yes, now I can't reveal
okay,
nothing, but there will be a lot of surprises before the release of the album. So Amaranth Records
okay,
will surprise you
okay,
with some new releases of single
okay.
song.
On the song on the front of the La Grotta della Sibilla, on the video on YouTube, for the listeners and watchers of this interview, they can check out this video and we can see snow, you in the snow, in the natural landscape. It was shot in Italy, in La Marche,
Yes,
uh,
yes, of
in,
course.
in the
In
Sibylline
Italy,
Mounts.
the mounts, and so in the next, I can reveal that in
Okay,
the next videos, you will see some footage through the snow, and while the
okay,
snow fall down on me, and while
okay.
I'm walking through snow-covered landscapes of those mounts.
Okay, a bit like Immortal did it, but in the summer with the Black Shark or all stuff Immortal. You remember in the
Yes, of
90s?
course.
Black Show.
Mortal, the first album of Immortal
No,
influenced
yeah,
me
yeah,
very much. Yes,
yeah, yeah, the Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism.
and a bit more
Battle in the North,
Battery
no?
in the North
Yeah,
and Pure Low Cost and
and
Blizzard
Pure
Beasts.
and
Blizzard
Blizzard
Beasts
Beast.
is a great,
Yeah,
really maybe my preferred album. Blizzard
yes,
Beasts.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, very interesting. If you have to select a top three of the album. I know it's hard, but there are 14 tracks. I invite the listeners to listen all the whole album because there are 14 tracks. It's like we said, it's a travel, it's a journey. But if you have to select two, three songs of this album, maybe the single, maybe other songs, maybe a song about Inquisition,
Okay, I think that the best way to listen to the album is to listen the album. The
of course.
entire it's a bit long,
To take the time.
about 77 minutes,
Okay,
and so a long journey. With some, not all the tracks are songs, entire songs, but there are interludes,
yeah,
intermezzos, and ambient intermezzos, and so on.
Yeah.
Uh,
And also, could you tell me more about the song? There is a song about Inquisition. Maybe it's one of your favorite song.
yes,
What?
my favorite song is the final suite, 11 Minutes of Suite, Cecco d'Ascoli, Atto 2. Cecco
Okay.
d'Ascoli was a person, a medieval person that born in Marche.
Okay. New
He
region.
was born in Marche, and he was a great poet, teacher, and so on, alchemist, many
Okay.
sides, a person with many sides. But he was burnt
Oh.
as heretic at the
Ah.
stake by Inquisition, and so this is an important thing for the important part of the album because
Okay.
he was linked to the Sibylline Mounts. The Inquisition said that he went on through this mount and
Yeah.
consecrated his book of witchery,
Yeah.
of witchcraft,
Okay.
on a lake with demons, on a lake on the Sibylline Mounts, to the demons of the mounts and so on.
D'accord.
So he was burned at the stake for this reason, for alchemy and heresy, because he he never sorry, but now I have never come back with his opinion,
Oh, ah, yeah.
never
Yeah. Okay.
renounced to his opinion,
And okay. Okay.
his opinion about his studies, his opinion about everything he wrote. And
Okay.
so he was burnt. But the things that he wrote was something like a bit different from what was in the Bible, on the what the
Ah,
church.
okay. Okay. But he finished like in France, Joan of Arc. I don't know if you understand, if you know Joan of Arc, who burnt because of the
Yes,
English in the 14 in
something
the
similar,
15th century.
but
Yeah. The end
it's
is similar.
something similar. Something similar. I've
Exact.
chosen
Exact.
Cecco d'Ascoli because
Okay.
it's something near to my roots.
Okay. Before to conclude, can we hope to see a live show of Hesperia? Or on Hesperia is only a studio project for you artistically? And do you follow the black metal scene nowadays? The new black metal bands, post black metal from France, for example, because a lot of big scene, or not at all? You prefer the back like, a bit nostalgic, like in the 90s, black metal scene?
Okay, I think that Hesperia will remain a studio concept band.
Ah, okay.
But
Like the
I
money.
can't exclude that one day
Ah, okay.
there will be a live. But now I think
Yeah.
this. And about the scene, I listen to a lot of music, soundtracks, 70s prog rock and hard rock,
Okay.
80s metal, 90s black metal. About nowadays black metal,
Yeah.
I like very much some black metal ambient
Ah, okay.
acts, a sort of snow covered, like Paysage d'hiver
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Nationals, and so on.
Okay.
Something involved with putting together black metal and ambient sounds.
Okay.
Moreover, with winter sounds and so on,
Okay. 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 We are going to conclude.
especially.
So the new album is called "Tell Me" in Italian. I prefer to listen to the title by you.
And
New album. Could you
and
repeat the title of the album? The new album.
okay, okay. The new
I
album,
prefer.
the album that will be released in January, or
Yeah.
the next album.
Alors, the new album is Frali Monti Sibillini. I wanted to
Ah,
better know you by your accent, Italian accent. And
ah, ah,
well, it's available in January on Amaranth Records.
okay,
And the new one, maybe the new chapter, following chapter, it will be about Renaissance,
okay.
Renascimento, Renaissance, maybe
Ok,
after the.
ok, allora, fra i
Okay,
Monti Sibillini eh, will be released in January in two version,
okay,
free version, digital CD, Digipack CD,
okay,
and double LP Ice Marbled.
okay, on Amaranth Records. Okay,
Limited to 300 copies di double LP
okay,
and limited to 1000 copies the Digipack
okay,
CD.
okay.
And after this,
Have
I
plans?
will. I'm thinking to continue on this
Okay,
way in an age, in a later age, between the end of Middle Age and the
okay,
beginning of the Renaissance for the
okay,
future album, for the album that will follow fra i Monti Sibillini.
okay. Very interesting. Okay, but thank you very much. Grazie mille. Ciao,
Thanks
Hesperus,
to you.
and thank
Thanks to
you very
you.
much for your time. Thank you very
Merci.
much for your effort to speak. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Ciao.
Good night.